Work life just runs together, and it's really hard to kind of have some boundaries around it.
Especially if you've got a family.
Yeah. And again, especially if you're working from home, then your laptop or your computer is always out, and it's really tempting to go after dinner and go in and do some more work. And so, you know, I found if you have a couple just simple tips that you can start to apply into your life and put into practice, that you can really kind of get your life back.
Because it's about setting boundaries, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Yeah.
And I think, like, there's simple ways to do it. Number one, back when I worked in corporate, I know this seems hard to do, but when I worked in corporate and I had little kids, I would tell my bosses, I would say, hey, you know, between the hours of, say, 6 and 9, I'm going to be offline. You know, I won't have access to my phone or any of that because I'm going to be with my kids. I'm going to be present with my kids at that time. But then after that, maybe I'll check email before I go to bed to make sure nothing, you know, has happened and there's no fires burning or things like that. So I think there are ways that you can definitely kind of communicate that, even if your work has a very go-go all the time culture, round-the-clock culture. Because if you can put a little bit of boundaries in, it's amazing how much your outside life can then recharge you and refuel you, so that you can be more productive at work.
I would think too that your supervisors would think, well, okay, respect the boundary. I think that's a way to respect yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. When you can kind of self-advocate, then people understand, okay, that's important to you. You know, nothing is going to happen in those 3 hours that we can't you know, overcome before you go to bed.
Absolutely. You say that create, this is interesting, create a transition space between work and home.
Yes, and this was really important. So I've been working from home for almost 14 years. Part of that was at corporate, and then part of it as an entrepreneur. And for me, it was really important whether I had a home office that was a place where I could close the doors at 5 o'clock. That was ideal, but many times I didn't. I just had like a laptop at the kitchen counter like a lot of people do. So my whole thing is like close down your